next we shall go to our topic of the week. After almost coming to a standstill due to COVID-19 pandemic, the Indonesian tourism industry has displayed a strong recovery lately. The number of both foreign and domestic tourists has increased significantly during the last 2 years.
Indonesia's tourism industry has shown a strong rebound during the last 2 years since the pandemic days in most parts of 2020 and 2021. However, although the number of foreign tourist arrivals has displayed a strong recovery, it has yet to reach the level recorded before the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the latest data issued by the Statistic Indonesia or BPS, the number of foreign tourist arrivals reached 9.49 million during January to October period, an increase of about 125% compared to the same period in 2022, but still lower than the 13.4 million recorded in 2019. Meanwhile, during January-October period, domestic tourists made 688.78 million trips. That is an increase of 12% compared to the same period in 2022. Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy Sandiaga Uno said recently that the number of foreign tourist arrivals during the first 10 months of this year has exceeded the government's target of 8.5 million. With the upward trend, Minister Sandiaga is upbeat that the number of foreign tourist arrivals could reach 11 million this year. Prospect of the tourism industry will be even brighter in 2024, although the number of foreign tourists would still be below the level recorded before the pandemic. In achieving the 14 million foreign tourist arrival target set by the government, Indonesia may face a more challenging environment, such as the global economic slowdown and the rising geopolitical tensions due to the ongoing wars between Russia and Ukraine, as well as the war between Israel and Hamas. Minister Sandiaga said that with increase in flight connectivity with the world's major tourist markets and the expansion of tourist destinations in the country, the target remains sensible and within reach. Indonesia has identified 5 scenic locations as super priority tourist destinations to diversify its tourism industry, apart from Bali. The government also plans to invest in infrastructure and promote these destinations to give tourists more options and boost tourism revenues. The 5 tourist destinations include Labuan Bajo, Lake Toba, Yogyakarta, Mandalika, and Likupang. And the government has earmarked 18.9 trillion rupiah, or about $1.26 billion for infrastructure projects, promotional activities, and personnel training in these areas between 2020 and 2024. Bali has long been the country's dominant source of tourism revenue, but Indonesia hopes to achieve a more balanced development throughout the nation by developing these new destinations.
Let's go to our discussion today. Bali continues to dominate the country's tourism industry, which has showed a strong recovery this year. A large number of domestic and international tourists are expected to flock to the island in Christmas as well as New Year holidays. And joining us this afternoon, Ibu Gilda Sagrado is the executive of Bali Tourism Promotion Agency, and she will share her view on the latest trend in the country's tourism, especially, of course, about Bali. Hello, Ibu Gilda, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you, everyone?
I can see that you are in the car at the moment. Thank you so much for
Yeah, sorry. We're
sparing your
so
time with us.
busy. We're so busy this year.
Everyone is busy at the end of the year, but thank you so much for being here with us, Ibu Gilda. Now, before we talk about Bali, I'd like to talk more about the state of our national tourism industry. Now, in your opinion, Ibu Gilda, the country's tourism industry has displayed a strong rebound during the last 2 years. Can you describe actually how solid is the recovery of our tourism industry so far?
Well, we are looking at growing from strength to strength in terms of the entire national tourism industry for Indonesia, getting in the inbound tourists out of about 190 countries around the world. We've actually extended visa on arrival, which is a very good decision made by our government to actually attract tourists. So the visa on arrival is making it easier. In fact, there is now the online e-visa on arrival. This is making things so much easy for our tourists to come and visit Indonesia. And all these special policies and government support are actually pushing the correct buttons to bring in tourists coming into Indonesia.
Yeah, and we can actually see that by the result that we have seen, according to the data as reported by the BPS, the number of foreign tourist arrivals have reached 9.49 million, and this exceeds our government's target of 8.5 million this year. Now, in your opinion, though, do you think that this high increase will be sustainable, given that there is a global economic slowdown? Also, there are rising geopolitical risks because we have the general election coming up next year. What do you have to say about this?
Well, Louisa, I am a very convicted, I'm full of conviction when it comes to the recovery. We are not there yet up to the levels of the previous numbers. So I am really sure that these numbers are sustainable. These are strong increase. Minister Sandiaga Uno has actually led us through very, very good steps and very, very good, very strong and very full of vigor in terms of strategies of grabbing all these tourists. Mind you, when the border were open, all of the countries were actually grabbing for the number of international tourists, attracting these tourists to come to their individual countries. So for us, Indonesia, we were very strong in our strategies. And once we grab these, we are able to actually maintain them. I am looking at, in addition to the huge numbers, is also the length of stay. So previously, we were only having 3 or 4 nights average length of stay, while right now, we are able to allow or to have their attention for at least 7 to 14 days. This is a very huge percentage increase from 3 to 4 to now 7 to 14 days. I think these are really good strategies that have been implemented by the ministerial team as well as all the government officials collaborating and collating into very wise decisions.
I actually really noticed that trend happening, especially during the pandemic, where usually the foreign tourists will just come for a short trip, but now there is co-working and co-living spaces, so they can actually stay for like a month or even more. Some people actually stay for months and months long in Bali because they like Bali so much. Ibu Gilda, now.
Yes, do you remember when Minister was saying about him staying over in Bali and working from Bali? So all these strategies are really working out very well.
So it's actually, well, quote unquote, a bit of a blessing in disguise in terms of tourism coming into Bali. Now, Ibu Gilda, the foreign tourist arrivals in the province rose sharply to 4.8 million as of November, and this exceeds this year's target of 4.5 million. A lot of these things are looking really well now. With such an encouraging trend so far, how many tourist arrivals in Bali in total do you expect to come at the end of the year? What's your prediction?
Well, with our head director of tourism, Bapak Choka Mayun, has actually agreed that we are going, of course, we have exceeded the numbers and we are going way, way beyond. In fact, commencing the 1st of December, we had 2 additional direct flights from Vistara and Indigo, and these are direct flights from India. And these are full flights, mind you. They are chock-a-block coming into Bali. So only commencing 1st of December, we have additional flights. That means the bridge for people to grow or to come into Bali, the bridge is growing bigger and bigger each and every day. So that means a lot of people are now able to find tickets. Previously, we had difficulty to find tickets into Bali, and now all our friends are able to get their hands on tickets flying out into Bali, celebrating the year-end and the New Year festivities for the Island of the Gods. A lot of programs are happening in Bali. We've got festivals every other weekend, and we've got, in the midweek as well, lots of people are organizing programs. So, everything is on the calendar.
Wow. I mean, just hearing to you all the things that you said, it sounds very exciting. I mean, like, you know what they always say, Bali is always a good idea. And with such a positive outlook of all these people coming into Bali, how could you ensure us that the Bali's government is actually ready to handle all this tourists coming in, whether it's from foreign or even domestic tourists coming into Bali? Is the infrastructure ready? What about the airport and even like the hotels? Is everything prepared for this huge coming inflow for the end of the year?
Well, our head of tourism, the director, Mr. Choka Mayun, has actually issued just on the 7th of December a letter to again remind us, all our tourism industry, that we are to take care in terms of safety, in terms of health procedures. We know there are some increase or heightened numbers, and so we are, of course, taking measurements, and we have implemented additional machines into scanning the temperature measures of arrivals at the international airport of Igusti Ngurah Rai. And also we are, in addition, informing our the people. The people of Bali would be the strength of why the tourism is going to be so strong, and why we are so sure of the foundation of tourism. The Balinese people, we are taking care of the tourist. And for example, one of our highlights for the end of the year is the Panyu Pinaru, which is the Water Blessing Day, occurring on the 17th of December. And thereafter, we will have, of course, Galungan and Kuningan, all these celebrations going back to back. These are the culture of Bali, and these are the main magnets that attract people to come to Bali. For example, in one of our endorsed partners, BaliHealingTours.com, they do have tours that allows people to stay with the villagers and be with the family. And these are the type of tours that are, of course, aligned and present also at the same time as those parties and those festivities happening all around the island. So for every interest, for each type of interest of our tourist friends, we do have available the water under the sea or in the mountain, on the beach, within the waterfalls for healing tours. All these are available, everything for everyone, if I can say that.
Well, all of that really sounds very appealing, Ibu Gilda, and it's really good to know that the airport has also taken the health measures in place, especially with some of the COVID scare right now happening in Singapore, the new COVID scare. Well, thank you so much, Ibu Gilda. It's always so pleasant talking to you, and looking forward to our next chat
Thank
next
you,
time.
Lisa. Pleasure from mine.
Happy early holidays and good luck until the end of the year in Bali. Have
Thank
a
you.
good
Happy
time.
festivities to everyone. Om Shanti, 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 Om.
Thank you.